How much money would it take to debate Brittany Venti again? It would have to happen on YouTube. I don't want to get banned.
I remember that. That was quite a show.
Darth Dawkins was one of the most frustrating debates to listen to. Yeah, it's okay. That was some good ass memes. When conservative speakers debate, they have a home field advantage. The audience is almost always on their side. Is that something you're worried about? I don't give a fuck if an audience fucking hates me, dude. I love it. I revel in the hatred. I hope I'm getting booed by a bunch of fucking triggered conservatives. Literally nothing would make me happier than pissing off a whole fucking audience of rednecks. Oh, I would live for it. I don't need people to like me, dude.
You could get into some serious shit if you actually did a physical debate like that. Like, maybe you'd, like, get into the Sam Harris, Jordan Peterson memes.
Oh, maybe. I do think that, like, my live speaking skills are so good. It's, like, something that I...
Dude, that's the gateway. Then you write a book, National Times bestseller.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude. My Life as a Debater. My Life as the Master Debater by Steven. This is how it starts, dude. You laugh, but you're like, you know, all those people got there somehow. They had like one.
Yeah,
like,
no,
really
I mean, no, I'm serious. Like live debating Ben Shapiro would be really good for me.
Yeah.
Because one, it illustrates that Shapiro is not some untouchable like god of live debate, and two, because it shows that I am. No, I'm just kidding.
Like if you crush him, dude, you'll attract the Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's a niche that I serve that's, like, really important, and that's, like, left-leaning person that doesn't, like, literally cry when they have to, like, talk to a conservative. Like, it's very hard to find. And I get, like, a lot of feedback that says as much. Like, hey, like, it was really cool, I found you, and you're a left-leaning person that isn't, like, literally in tears, you know, like, using your pink hair to, like, wipe away the crying when somebody, like, challenges your opinion or whatever, which I think is good.
Do you think you're good enough to take on Jordan Peterson in a debate?
Oh, easily. Shapiro would be harder.
Don't think so. You know why?
Why? Because Peterson has myth on his side?
Yeah, but also because Peterson actually, what's so scary about him is that he doesn't have to, he's like you, he doesn't have to make sense to sound right.
Oh no, I mean, I get, well, yeah, you gotta be careful what you're asking me. In terms of like making people think I was correct, I think I could actually with Peterson. But, but I mean, like, an audience will always side with him if they're like there for him, of course. The thing with Peterson, the thing that I have an advantage with that a lot of people don't is that, like, I know, like, a lot of kind of the tricks that people use to kind of debate, and so, like, I can call Peterson out on a lot of those types of things, like his inability to give a solid answer to something. Although I think Harris tried, although I haven't listened to that as much.
Yeah, he did. I just think, like, Peterson can, like, talk in a way that gets people on his side, like, so well. It's really crazy how he does it. He'll, like, agree with you, but at the same time, he'll be dismantling you until you don't even know who you are anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're like praying to a pagan god. That's what happened to me.
JP dodged a question and the audience applauded for it. Yeah, I saw that. Can you stop teleporting on top of me? That's kind of lame, dude.
But if you get into that circuit, you're literally at that point debating with people that are like
internationally renowned.
New York Times bestsellers. Yeah, it's a huge deal. It really is.
Do you think if you hustle every one of those pundits that CNN brings on to argue about random shit? In terms of like mainstream stuff, I don't think so. There's too many controversial things about me that would preclude that from happening. Although if things continue to go the way they are, maybe that would change. Who the fuck knows?
They'll also fuck you up real bad. When you get into traditional media, that's where they start like paraphrasing you. And
sure.
Yeah, you say like they get you on positions where they like cut your clips and do things you don't actually mean. I think you want to avoid traditional media for that.
Maybe, sure. Dusty debated nothing but uneducated retards, and he's comparing his skills to Sam Harris. Well, yeah, because Sam Harris would be another uneducated retard we would debate. If Sam Harris wanted to debate about neuroscience, I would be completely lost, but a lot of the other things Sam Harris talks about are pretty fucking dumb. And Sam Harris never talks about neuroscience, so that's what he apparently did his PhD work in. It would be lost as well. His paper is terrible. I'm pretty sure that somebody that failed their PhD in neuroscience is still going to know infinitely more than I do about neuroscience, guys.
One of the problems, I think, is sometimes you use, like, really crazy debate tactics. Like, you have a certain personality that you use on Twitch, and that wouldn't, like, work in, like, a structured setting.
Wait, okay, you're triggering me. I don't use debate tactics. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Wait! You can't say that. Like, you can't do that. Like, you're gonna get fucking...
Oh, no, that's why I said that, like, it would have to, like, depend. But, like, the thing is that, like, I don't like getting gish galloped, and people do that a lot. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think I would like an Oxford.
If you go, like, autismal and freak out, like, Sam Harris or Jordan Peterson are done with you. If you
well, sure, but we would have to have, like, the structure would have to be something that would allow for stuff like that. Like, not necessarily screaming like that, but, like, if I say you need to stop, like, you need to fucking stop right now.
You'd have to control yourself.
I mean, I can control myself. I've done it before. I'm never doing it on, like, a Trainwrecks podcast.
That would be the #1 thing I would work with.
Does it never freak out when you talk to a guy? Yeah, no, like, I can talk to people just fine.
You don't think there's much difference between, like, a structured debate, like an actual...
I don't like the structure of, like, speak for 10 minutes and then they speak for 10 minutes. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Those debates can't be won against bad faith actors. That's my
Why
problem.
Why not?
Like, let's pretend that this is a debate, okay?
Are we busting out the fake names?
I'm gonna give us each 1 minute to speak. Okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you about to demonstrate why I'm a bad faith actor? Because you're right.
No, I'm gonna show you how me being a bad faith actor will make it impossible for you to win, okay? What do you want to debate on?
I want to debate on... What do we disagree with right now?
Whatever you want. Pick the topic.
You can do anything?
Whatever you want, dude.
Okay. The big one would be, how about the fact that a person has to be totally morally consistent for the rest of their views to be respected?
Okay, sure. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that people need to be totally morally consistent in order to live good lives, okay? Right now, the data tells us that there are like 70% of the people that are morally inconsistent are more likely to rape, are more likely to murder, are more likely to steal. This is stuff that has been empirically proven, okay? I am a big fan of people not being murdered and not being raped in society. And I know like 5 different people that are morally inconsistent that are consistently raping and murdering people on a daily basis. And I know that the exact type of stuff that you advocate for has led to multiple people being rapists and murderers on a daily basis. I don't see how you could ever support something like that. Like, just if we even think about it, in order for you to be morally inconsistent, you would have to be somebody that doesn't care about human life, that doesn't care about human values, that doesn't care about actual moral systems, and you would never be able to be convinced logically otherwise, because somebody like that would completely and totally reject all forms of reasonable or logical arguments. And we've seen this play out in society historically over and over and over again, that all of these people are absolutely willing to do whatever it takes for them to advance themselves in society and hurt and murder and kill everyone around them. Okay, you have 1 minute to respond to that. Ready?
I can't. There's too much.
Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. This is why I don't like a structured back and forth, because this is how an argument works, okay? So what I just did there was a gish gallop, okay?
Yeah.
So here's what we're doing, okay? I'm going to say premise, 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 and then here's my conclusion, okay? In an audience's mind, by the time I've done this, holy shit, it already sounds really fucking good, because I've gotten to build my whole fucking story. Well, now, if you want to argue with me, well, okay, let's go through this. We're going to get hung up in this one fucking point for 5 fucking minutes, okay? Like, and by the time we've done this, we've already forgotten, like, all of this shit. And as you're trying to come through my premises one at a time, if you lose even a single one of these arguments, it looks like you've lost the whole debate.
Yeah, holy shit.
So, like, you're already fucking done. This is why when you hear me talk to people, like, I try not to do it when I'm streaming, but, like, when that one vegan guy, when I was like, stop, right? Because how I want to do an argument is, here's my premise. Do you agree or disagree? You agree? Okay. Here's my premise. Do you agree or disagree? Right? Because if we go through it like this, point by point by point, then I can go to my conclusion. Like, this is my conclusion. How can you possibly disagree given all of this that we've already agreed on?
Yeah.
Now, I don't have to gish gallop. I don't have to throw 50 million points. Like, we can work through every single point. And all I ask is that I have the ability to do the same. I don't want somebody to sit here and lay out 55 different things. Like, no. Let's just start with this one thing. We'll go back and forth on this one point, and then once we've settled it, we'll move on to the next point. That's how I like to have conversations, yeah. But most people are not comfortable with that because they feel like, because they're either not...
They haven't thought through their fucking premises.
They're either not intelligent enough or they're not well-researched enough to feel confident that their argument can stand on the merit of every single premise.
So when you and I had that discussion, remember I came back as Golden Frieza?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And that was a premise-based... That's how I actually structured that argument. That was the right way to do it.
Well, because you asked me, like... Because I remember you were like, do you think that there are some stories that can have value?
Yeah.
Do you think that these stories convey value in a way that, like, perfectly logical, reasonable, blah, 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 wouldn't be right? Yeah, that was... And then by the time you got that, then you gave me your conclusion at the end, and I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I have to think about it. Because I can't... Because at the end, assuming we're both good faith actors, I can't be like, I don't agree. Well, it's like, what do you mean you don't agree? We just walked through every single premise, and I believe that it's internally valid. It leads to my conclusion. How can you disagree at this point, right? Yeah.
I see. And you don't think that in a structured debate versus like Jordan Peterson or Sam Harris that you think they would do that? You think they would go like...
The problem is that if you talk for 2 minutes and you're somebody like one of these people, I don't care what you say for 1 minute and 50 seconds. I'm going to want to talk a lot about what you said in the first 10 seconds. So why waste your time building the rest of the argument, right? That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Especially
because some of your later premises might rest on a former premise. Like, you might say something along the lines of like black people are genetically predisposed to have less IQ than white people. We don't need interbreeding in our society because of that. Therefore, we should kick out all black people, right? Well, it's like, okay, well, hold on. Your second premise is resting on that first one quite a bit. The fact that you don't want interbreeding very much hinges on the idea that black people genetically have less IQ. So let's talk about this first. I don't care about the second point, right? Yeah. Why give them 2 minutes to build up a whole argument when it's like, whoa, like,
the first premise is what's to be discussed.
Exactly, yeah.
That's I feel like you really should watch the Sam Harris Jordan Peterson debates and figure out if that fits that narrative. Because if you're gonna start debating people in that realm, it seems important to know that.
Wait, how did I get to this guy? Was I supposed to do that?